All right, so our guest on the show today is a singer, songwriter, and performer with a career that spans more than a decade. He has established himself as one of the most consistent and versatile voices in the music business. From his early breakthroughs to chart-topping singles and cross-border collaborations, he has continuously evolved while staying true to his sound. Now, let's welcome to the show, Skales.
Hello, welcome.
I was say Skales, the bad guy.
How are you doing? Welcome.
Man, I'm good, man. I feel all right. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Well, so let's before we go to Martina's song, that's your latest album, latest body of work. How does it feel seeing the resurgence of a song you recorded like years back, making it back to the charts, should I say breaking borders and boundaries? How does it feel like, tell us how it felt for you, what was going on in your mind when you saw it, should I say climb back to the charts, and how has it been so far?
Man, it feels really good, knowing that this is your job, that this is your work, your handwork that, will last the test of time, so pretty much is evergreen. So it's amazing to also see that it's transcending into another generation, So I feel so good, man.
Yeah, I think honestly, it's fantastic. It's mind blowing. It should be studied actually, because I mean. It was such a phenomenal song when it came out, and what a lot of us do is, with the way we take in content or music these days, we consume it and we move on to the next best thing. So to see that full circle turn around, like congratulations, man! I think that's really, really cool. But let's talk about you've announced your latest album, Martina's Son. There's a single on there, I believe, with the Yinka Ayefele. That's a very interesting choice. Really, really, high life kind of music. I want to know what your mindset was kind of like leading into this project. How do you see it building on where you are now as an artist?
Well, see, the whole album that I made, was all about like celebrating my mom's legacy, and, being able to also sample songs that we used to jam to back then. It's such an amazing feeling. So for me, it's full circle actually to be able to sample, because I sampled more than just Yinka Ayefele. I sampled Phases, Columental, I sampled K1 The Ultimates, Baby Show Color. So there's a lot of sampling there. So I mean, it just shows that we've come of age where we sample our classics, and I'm glad to be one of the people in the forefront to do so.
So I'm guessing Martina is your mom.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, okay, all right, that's very cute.
I like the fact that lately we've seen a lot of artists sample classics, and I like the fact that you did that on Martina's album. So what was the creative process like for you? Like did you reach out to these artists to get their blessings? And what was it like putting the body of work together? How long did it take you to put this work together?
Well, it took me probably like 2 years or so. But I mean, that not cause of the thing was long. It was just because I was doing other things and coming back to the music. And shout out to all the people I sampled. They made it easy for me. And at the end of the day, it's business. So all the business part was sorted out. And yeah, we have.
They get like royalties,
Yeah, of course.
100%.
Of course, they have to.
Signed, sealed, and delivered. But I mean, we'll definitely still come back to the music, but what really caught my interest was your acting. You did a bit of acting in Seeking Justice. It was a movie directed by JJC Skales. What drew you to that? Was it, talk to me about like the process in creating that performance, because music and movies, two completely different things. So how do you approach that? What drew you to that role? Was it by chance? Was it something you wanted to take off your bucket list? Talk to me about that experience.
I've always wanted to act. I've always wanted to, be part of, the acting world. So me and JJ Skills were cool. So I just reached out to him one day. I'm like, bro, man, I want to act. And I don't know if it's weeks or days later, he hit me up with a script and like, oh yeah, we have a movie. Can you fly out? I was like, yeah. And that was how, I flew to Abuja. And he gave me the role. To be honest, I didn't even meet other people. I just shot my role, and I traveled out, and only for me to see the movie and see how they put everything together. I'm like, wow, so this is how they do it, But it was a good feeling, because there was a lot of other, superstar Nollywood artists, actors rather, that were there. So being able to be featured in a movie with them is such a great feeling.
So that's my next question. Would you be open to more movie roles?
Of course.
Of course.
I'm very, very open.
Yeah, but what would you?
As a matter of fact, I think there's one more coming because I even totally forgot about it. It was a movie with Dakore from a long time ago that we shot, but I don't know how many years it is. But yeah, someone told me that it's coming out.
Okay.
What character would you love
That was
like
going to be my
known
next,
for?
I mean, not
Playboy.
necessarily known for. Is there maybe like a dream role?
Okay.
That's, something that you've always wanted to do. Some people want to be villains. Some people want to, I'll just stop at villains actually.
To be honest, I've never actually thought about that, but I would just like to be the guy that the spotlight is on, that everybody talks about in the movie. That's like,
Fair enough.
All right, okay, so let's talk about, you linking up with Lamine Yamal. I mean, that was a big deal. I'm not gonna lie for you. Like, I think the whole Nigeria, they were happy, like everybody was happy for you, seeing that collaboration at work, seeing you link up with him, going to Spain to even perform. Like, how was it, how was that feeling for you collaborating with Lamine? And are you a Baka fan, or it was just like, okay, since Lamine loves my song, let me just jump onto the side of the Baka side of things?
I needed to convert real quick. So
Oh, so you're not a Barca fan?
I mean, I wasn't fully, but after everything happened, I have no choice but to be a Baka fan.
What club were you supporting before?
Man, that's something I can never disclose. I can never disclose it, man. That is all dead and gone. So
Okay, so now it's Barca.
Yes, Barcelona, man.
Okay, all right. So it's the Lamine factor, right? The Yamal factor.
That and being able to like experience. I was in Barcelona and I traveled with them to Sevilla for the Copa del Rey final match, and it was such an amazing feeling. So just being part of that just made me feel like, this is my team, man. I'm part of this team.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you. I'll convert.
Skales, I wonder, if you weren't making music, what do you think you'd be doing today? Do you have passions outside the industry that might surprise people? We only just found out earlier this week that Thames plays football. So is there something that might surprise people to know, a passion of yours that you don't really share?
I think it probably would have been football too, honestly, too. Because to be honest, I used to play football before, getting dedicated to music. As a matter of fact, I have like some of my childhood friends that are superstars, like in Europe right now. They play for big teams, and anytime I'm in Europe, we chill. So yeah, I probably would have been a footballer. Or man, I don't know, I would have been probably depressed somewhere because I don't know, I would have been an artist regardless. I just love music and I'm really passionate about it.
You've definitely been in the creative space. I feel like more of our parents should have embraced, more of the, the younger boys and girls going to football colleges. Yeah. Imagine how much more penetration we would have had now if our parents would not say, no, don't play ball, go to school,
Would you have been a footballer?
Who knows, I used to be a goalkeeper, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper.
Stop it, ask your next question.
All right, okay, so let's talk about, how you handle trolls. You've been on social media lately, and there's been a lot of, should I say, back and forth between you and some trolls. How have you been able to handle that? And, I saw you recently defending your colleague, Mehdi, which I think is admirable. So, like, is it from a place of love for Mehdi and the craft, or from a place like something you can relate to in terms of, everybody handles trolls once in a while. So you sort of, should I say, standing up for Mehdi. I even saw the likes of G Neptune do the same, and a few other people. So how have you been able to sort of handle trolls, and of course, what's going on social media now?
Yeah. Well, trolls has always been a part of the the game, So that most people that just get behind the keyboards and just see how they just say things and not even think about how it affects the other human being. Because most of them too are going through stuff. But for me, the way for me defending Mehdi is about everything. Love for the craft, also being able to relate with what he's going through, because I've been there, And it was just that when something happens, you just have that flash, and you just feel like you need to protect this person. So that's what happened that's how I felt, But for trolls, man, I really don't know. The thing is, the game is the game. You just have to be on top of your game, and of course, most importantly, my own philosophy. Should I say philosophy is just win. Just success is the best revenge.
Right.
So,
Yeah, just
And sorry, before you jump, like so, I mean, there's a particular troll which I don't like mentioning his name. If I won't mention his name, I won't give him that credit. But like he belongs to a certain FC. You know how it is on social media. Everybody has their own gang or crew. Doesn't it bother you, like you sort of replying, or should I say, giving some sort of attention or audience? Don't you feel? Do you feel like? I mean, would that sort of create any sort of, maybe, I don't know, underlying rift between you and your former label mate, that is Wizkid? Because I mean, that guy is one person that is part of his so-called FC, Wizkid FC, and now you going back and forth with him. Don't you think that may sort of, I don't know, just the relationship you guys might have, would it sort of tarnish it?
For me, I really don't care about anybody else right now. I'm just like fully focused on, my work right now. So if whatever happens has happened in the past, people have made mistakes, and, maybe give an audience to people that don't matter in this life. But for me, I'm cool with everybody. I'm really just focused on my job, my work. I have a family. I have more important things in life. I have things to lose that I'm protecting. I'm too old for some certain things. So you get me.
Yeah, 100%. And I want to bring it back, to the music. You have, openly spoken about your personal losses, and talking about the album Martina's Son. That obviously comes from a very emotional place, from a place of tribute. I'd like to believe for a place of celebration. And I'm trying to just picture yourself in the studio. You've spoken to me about how a lot of the songs there are like, remedies that you grew up listening to. How has grief shaped your outlook on life and the way you approach your art now?
Well, I feel like grief was more like a way for me to have a turning point in life where I see life differently now. Even my music, I feel like my music got better. I feel like I do things like with logic and more strategy, I'm just a better human being. That's all I would say for now. So grief has really made me better to know, like, okay, this is not needed for my life. This is unnecessary. What's necessary for me, and what's going to help my future,
Okay, so like Martina's Son, I mean, there's a body of work you just released. I just want to ask you, like, everybody has a way or what they want to be remembered for, in terms of when they're done, with their career and they come to the latter stages. What would you like to remember for? Like, if you want to look back at your career, what do you want people to know or remember you for?
To be honest, I just want to be remembered as that guy that, this came from nothing, because pretty much my story is, I'm from Kaduna, I'm from a very, very, even though this sounds really cliche, but it's facts, I come from a very poor family, it was just pretty much, the movie of Will Smith and his son, Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, Pursuit of Happiness.
Pretty much me and my mom's story is similar, but even tougher, but that's not why we're here. But anyways, I just want to be remembered as that kid that builds himself from nothing, pretty much like became the breadwinner of his whole entire family, the most successful person in his family, and being able to share my story and impacting all the kids and actually impacting people's lives is like what I want to be remembered with.
But like, before I leave my colleague to answer to ask the next question. I mean, I like it when you say where you're coming from, but I feel like that could be what shaped you to who you are. Don't you think so? Yeah. Because if you were comfortable, do you think you'll be Skales today?
At all.
100%. Exactly.
At all, no lies.
You were a Nepo baby.
But if we look at how Afrobeats has exploded, globally, internationally, how do you feel being part of the early wave that helped to build the foundation for today's global recognition?
Man, till now, I still can't believe some certain things, because I pretty much would say that I'm one of the pioneers, like people that, were ahead for the, the whole Afrobeats to the world. you know, from my song Shake Body till now, till other songs, till other
That's
people.
why it's still relevant till today.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
of the sound, the mix of Afrobeats and
Yeah.
dancehall and like a sprinkle of hip hop in there. Sorry.
Yeah. You know, but you know, so just being able to see how we've gone from performing in like small clubs to arenas to you know, to stadiums, you know, it's such an amazing feeling, and to see that our songs go, you know, head to head with like huge songs in the world, like I'm talking about charts, go viral, you know, I've been able to be a part of that, you know, to see my music go global, top charts that you could only hear about on TV, you know, I see your songs, you know, on those kind of charts, you know, it's such an amazing thing, and it's what a time to be alive, because, you know, Africa is like, there's like more coming out, especially from Nigeria. There's more younger people doing more amazing stuff. So, you know, yeah, man, we're taking over, and it's such a good thing to see. I'm glad that I'm still here to see it.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Real quick, there's this story. I want you to confirm it for us. The Adidas thing with Lamine Yamal and your song. Well, you paid $1 million. Let's talk money.
Not that
money.
You know, I really don't know who started that, but shout out to him, man.
So you're not confirming yes or no?
Nah, man. God bless the person.
Don't worry, he won't share the money with us, but just, you know, just to clear the, you know, the air there. You don't want to share.
Nah, I just want to talk about it. But yeah, man, it was, you know, we were blessed enough to be part of that project. You know, big up everybody involved, from Adidas to Lamine's family and him himself. So, of course, everybody was compensated the way they needed to be compensated.
When people start speaking English, that's what you know.
Like,
that
we're
it's
compensated, we're
Hey,
compensated,
we see you, we see you. Sure, you were shaking your body all the way to the bank. Well done, yeah. Well done,
compensated,
yeah.
you know. They don't want to give figures, you understand? So that, you know.
That's fantastic.
Like,
Thank you.
Lagos won't send their, you know, tax.
No, please. Thank you so much, Skales. This has been a fantastic sit down with you. I really do wish you all the best
Thank you so
in
much.
your future endeavors.